So you should be on page 7, okay, in your notes journal, and we're looking at the flap that says one-step inequalities. Now, yesterday we did examples 1 through 4, but today we're going to be looking at example 5 and 6. And it's just those 2 examples. So on example 5, it says, oh, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Okay, the memory in, how are we going to say this girl's name? Tania? Okay. The memory in Tania's camera phone allows her to take up to 20 pictures. Tania has already taken 16 pictures. Write, solve, and graph an inequality to show how many more pictures Tania could take. So we all know the answer. Go ahead and say it. 4. Okay, got that out of the way, right? Okay, but we have to learn how to do it with an inequality. Like, we have to learn how to set this up, because remember last time how you were all like, oh, we know the answer to this, and felt like maybe you didn't need to set up equations, but when we get to the hard ones, you make it much more difficult on yourself if you don't do these easy ones first the correct way. So what you have to do is look for keywords that are going to tell you which direction your inequality symbol should face. So can anybody pick out the keywords that tell me which direction the inequality symbol should face on this one? Up to, yeah. Okay, now if you're not sure what kind of words I'm talking about, yeah, and the little cutout thingies. Clarissa, show everybody what you're looking at. Under your flappies, okay? Under your flappies, if you look, are all the keywords that mean all the inequalities, okay? So Clarissa, find up to, okay? Okay, it's under the less than or equal to flap, okay? So up to means less than or equal to. So I know that she can take less than or equal to 20 pictures, okay? It also tells me right here, it says Tania has already taken 16 pictures. So I'm going to put the 16 pictures she's already taken over on this side. And then I'm trying to figure out how many more she can take. So that's the unknown amount. So I'm going to say 16 she's already taken plus some amount more would need to be less than or equal to 20. You could use P for pictures. That would be fine. Okay, so then I'm going to solve this inequality. So I draw my weight bar and subtract 16 on each side. So I get x is less than or equal to 4. Now, the place that I see people mess up is not necessarily right here, because as you all told me, like you knew from the get-go, 4 was going to be the answer. The place that I see people mess up is when they do their graph, because they forget to ask themselves the 2 important questions on word problem graphs. And remember, those 2 questions are decimals okay and are negatives okay? All right, so would decimals be okay in this example? No, you cannot take a half picture. Either take the picture or don't. Okay, what about negatives? No. You can't, like, I don't even know how that would exist. So on your graph, what you're going to do, say, all right, 4 is the most she could take, so I'm going to put the 4 over here. What would be the least number of pictures she could take? 0 would be the least number, so I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to say she could also do 1, 2, or 3. And I put dots, right? Why am I only putting dots on the graph? Yeah, we can't take a half picture. So our dots have got to look like that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on just a second so I can understand this question. I'm sorry, say it again. Right. 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 So let's say it was just less than 4. Yeah, you would, the 4 would be open, but the 3, 2, 1, and 0 would still be closed because those would be included. Good question. All right, and then for number 6, it says, Josh can bench press 220 pounds. He wants to bench press at least 250 pounds. Write and solve an inequality to determine how many more pounds Josh must lift to reach his goal. All right, so remember, first thing you're going to do is try to find your keywords. At least, good. Okay, and if you cannot reason out in your head what at least means, then go to your little flappies and find the words at least, greater than or equal to. Okay, so I know that Josh is going to try to get greater than or equal to 250 pounds. The number associated with it, like whatever your keyword is, yes, will always be on the right of it. Yes, Jerry. All right, so then I know also that he's already done 220 pounds. So I'm going to say 220 pounds plus some remaining amount. So 50 pounds, that'll work. Okay, draw your line and subtract 220 on each side. So he is greater than or equal to 30. Okay, now remember, ask yourself 2 questions. What are your 2 questions? Are decimals okay? Yeah, you can have half a pound, so decimals are okay. What about negatives? No, you cannot lift negative weight, although that would be cool if you tried. Okay, so oh, that's an arrow. Okay, so 30 is the minimum amount. And should I put an open or closed circle on that? Whoa, closed circle on that. Okay, because my little line over here. And then we said decimals are okay, which means that we can just shade. We don't have to put dots. Negatives are not okay, but since I'm not going to be shading towards the negatives anyway, I don't really have to worry with that too much. So really, I'm just going to shade that way and say anything over 30 pounds would be great. If the arrow had been pointing this way, then I would have had to stop at 0 because I can't have negative weight. Yes, you would put a 0 with a closed circle above it. That's correct. Okay, so on the homework, it's on page 177. Here's the problem numbers. I forgot to snapshot it, but you should make a graph for each of these as well. Okay, so do just like what we did on the example. You should set it up, you should solve it, and then make a graph. Okay? Oh, also, here in just a second, like as you finish your homework, I'm going to ask you guys to go ahead and turn in your journals. And if your journal is caught up to date, like you have everything filled out, you have all the right pages in there, then you get a free 100 as a daily grade. If any part of it is missing, then I'm going to give you till Friday to get it fixed and hopefully get that 100 turned in by Friday, but I'll adjust the grades as necessary if it's not a 100, okay?